but her stomach rebelled. She was too tired to eat. All she wanted was a room with a bed. The innkeeper pushed back his greasy hair as she approached the front desk. His lips squeezed together as he examined her wrinkled dress and crushed bonnet. He could not have looked sourer if he had chewed a barrel full of lemons. Sarah sighed and straightened her shoulders. "I need a room for the night, please."
"Got no rooms?"
"You must have something." She swallowed and took a deep breath. She could not appear on her uncle's doorstep at night, exhausted and filthy. "I'll be gone in the morning. I'm visiting my uncle, the Earl of Westbrook."
The man snorted. "Your uncle's the Earl, and mine's Prinny hisself. Get on, girl. I know what your trade is, and you'll apply it somewhere else."
Sarah blinked. "You can't think I'm—" she squeaked. She swallowed and tried again. "That I'm—"
No, she couldn't say it. The innkeeper could. "A whore, a doxy, a tart," he sneered. "I'll thank ye to get out of my inn."
Just as he spat out his last words, a tall man with reddish hair stepped into the hall.
The troll behind the desk bowed immediately. "Yes, my lord. Did ye be needing something?" "Sounds like you're needing a little milk of human kindness, Jakes," the man said, his words slurring slightly. He barely glanced at the innkeeper. His attention was all on Sarah. "You wouldn't really throw this poor damsel in distress out into the night, would you, old man? Ye know this woman, my lord." The innkeeper shot Sarah a worried glance. She smiled vaguely. She certainly didn't know her potential savior. "Well, we haven't met, but I've been expecting her." The man stepped closer, bracing himself against the wall with his hand. Sarah could smell his words. This red-headed lord had found the bottom of a brandy bottle. She should have been terrified, but there was something oddly familiar about him. She studied his slightly glazed hazel eyes and lopsided grin. Perhaps he reminded her of the fervent young man who'd gathered in her father's study to argue politics and drain tankards of rum punch. "Come on," he said. "The room's this way." He lurched toward the stairs and grabbed the railing. He must have confused her with another traveler. She followed him as he stumbled up the narrow steps and weaved along the corridor. Her conscience urged her to speak up, but her exhausted body told her conscience to shush. She could not go another step tonight. Surely the woman her red-headed escort was expecting would not arrive tonight, and if she did, she would understand. Any woman would be willing to share accommodations in such a situation. The man finally found the room he was seeking. He opened the door and stood aside to let Sarah pass through. She paused on the threshold. There was one point she should clarify. "This is not your room, is it, sir?" The man propped a broad shoulder against the door jamb and grinned. It was impossible not to respond to the twinkle in his eye, even if it was a drunken twinkle, and the deep dimple in his right cheek. Sarah smiled back. He leaned closer. "Oh, no, mine's farther down the hall." "Ah!" Sarah tried not to choke on the brandy fumes that enveloped her. "Well then, thank you." She stepped into the room. The man remained on her door jamb. She could not close the door without catching his fingers. She looked at him uncertainly. "I do appreciate your help." He nodded. "Water," he said. "I bet you'd appreciate water to wash with as well." "Thank you, that would be wonderful." Washing off her travel dirt sounded almost as heavenly as sleeping. "But I don't want to be a bother." "No bother." The dimple deepened. "James will thank me too. I'll have some water set up directly." "Who's James?" she asked, but her new friend had already vanished down the stairs. Sarah shrugged and closed the door. The mysterious James was a puzzle to be solved in the morning, when her poor brain was up to the task. In a moment, a young girl appeared with a large pitcher and a towel. Sarah waited for her to leave, then stripped off all her clothing. The fire warmed her skin as she rinsed the sea salt off her body and out of her hair. While she toweled herself dry, she eyed her discarded clothes. She had lived in them for 3 very long days. She could not bear to put them right back on. She shook each garment vigorously and hung them all up to air. With luck, they would be acceptable by morning. She did not want to reek of the